Alright guys, I've got a 10-minute unrated game up. Our opponent is Yoni288 from Israel. Okay, and this takes us into the Freddy Krueger repertoire. Now this is unusual. Right, let's go with... I don't think I have this. I don't think this is something I've really come across before. With D3. Okay, and I'm going to take. I'm going to trust on my... Okay, I think knight here. So I'm going to use the patterns that I know from the Russo, from the Janisch Schliemann and the Calabrese and so on and so forth in a new pattern. Okay, I'm threatening to take that. Okay, so important question. Now the queen can't come out with check. So I could capture with a g-pawn, or I could capture with the queen. The queen can't, or the queen can be hit with bishop there. Let's take with a pawn. Take towards the centre. I now like to castle long, obviously. Alright, which means getting my stuff out of the way. So I've got to remove some junk. I think d5 is a very principled move, right? You might be preparing that, but then I've got d4. Right, well, first instinct, I nearly just moved it in a reaction. If he takes here, I can take it back with a pawn, so no worries. I'm going to... Do we pin or do we defend the pawn? Let's defend the pawn. I'm going to get my queen up. I'm going to get my king safe. And again, we move towards the centre. So this pawn has gone to here now. And it's now attacked a second time. So another option is to pin the knight. Another option is to lift the queen, which I wanted to do anyway, so we're going to do that. So now I'm just defended by knight and queen. I'm getting ready to castle. He isn't. And look at this central pawn. So what's key about this is that I control these squares, and these squares are very important squares. You put stuff on these squares, they see a lot of the board. They control a lot of squares. Right, what's your idea there? You want to put your queen here? Right, she can't go here, she can't go there. So I'm just going to castle immediately. That was a weird one. That was a weird move. I've got ideas as well about h5 and then bishop here. Well, so you do it anyway. Well, okay, third attacker. All right. I have this. Or I have this. Hits the queen, because queen isn't going to be the first to take, right? Although there are more attackers than defenders, I like this move. Unless he takes first with the bishop attacking my queen, then I take... Okay, I'm going to take the bishop, obviously. But now he's got the same problem. Oh! That's all right. So he's won himself a pawn. Well done. Okay, so first thoughts. Check. Pawn there is defended by the queen. Undefends this bishop. I want to be careful here. I want to be slightly careful. Do I centralise this rook? That's nice. How do I support that move? Okay, if I are checking the check, he pushes that, and now my queen's under attack and this. But I can always drop back here, so let's do that. He's got this idea. Both bishops are undefended. That's an issue. But the queen and... Oh! I wasn't expecting that. Alright. I know. I want to put one of my rooks in line with this, but then also this move is crying out. Let's do this in anticipation of a skewer on queen and... Oh no, I've undefended my bishop. Okay. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And it comes with check. Ah! Okay, can't take the other bishop. That was just silly. Fortunately, it's unrated. Clearly not on my sharpest today. However, I do have advantages. My opponent isn't castle. My opponent hasn't started using this rook yet. He can't take this. Whatever I do actually with this bishop now comes with a threat. So I could do that, for example, and attack the rook. But he's also got the problem of rook e8. Okay. I'm going to come here, and there's a double attack there, you see. So I'm expecting he's going to move the rook, and then he's going to have to move his king. When he moves the rook, bishop takes here is possible, unless he moves to a2. Huh. So I've got check here, knight blocks, and I can't take this pawn with check because the knight's defending it. I also... Oh, I've got check there. And then this. Come on. Right, killer mode. I've got a problem with killer mode, right? Check. What can he do? I think there's only one legal move, which is that, and then that's mate. I've got to be more evil. And checkmate. Brilliant. Okay, good game. Good game. Yes, he's challenged me back. Good lad. Okay, Caro. And we're going to go... Now, I did a video. What did we do? What did we do? I'm not going to do the two knights thing. I can't remember. What was the thing against the Caro? Can't remember it. So we're going to go two knights. Okay. This is quite normal. Yeah, I'm going to trade off. Now, I think this is okay now for black. This avoids all the tricky, trappy business. And I get this almost every time that I play this. I think it's like every Caro player understands. Aha. So if I take now, he restores his pawns. But let's pin. Let's pin the bishop. So now if takes, boom, you've got a queen in your face. I'd also like to castle. If he does this, of course, it breaks the pin. But still takes, and I win a pawn. Right, what's the idea there? So immediately what I'm looking at is where can this bishop come and annoy the queen? This bishop's still pinned, so that's not an issue. I can't attack it with a knight there, and that might be the purpose of that move. I feel like I want to get my other bishop out before I castle. I might even castle long. D4? D3. D3 means this bishop is defended. Even though it's not actually under attack because the bishop's pinned, but... So maybe he's thinking about that. Then if I take, pawn takes, Yeah, that might be his idea. I don't have this. Yeah, there we go. And now he can simply take my bishop if he wants to. Right, I'm going to drop it back, I think. Drop it back, and if he takes, I'll capture towards the centre, which is good. Maintaining my pawn island. A cluster here and 3 there. It looks like I'm going to castle short, probably. These bishops aren't ideally placed, facing towards the sides of the board. Okay, that's fine. Now that I've got a double pawn here, I've got ideas about wanting to push up and break with these pawns. Okay, I still have an issue with my dark squared bish. This is still pinned. I can't do that. I'd like to do that, but I don't know how. Okay, he's just lifted it. Could have just have castled then as well. Maybe the bishop might end up there. Okay, I'm going to castle. I'm looking at this idea. Then he's got pawn push. Could I push now? If I push... I'm not going to take his knight. I don't want him to get a pawn in the centre. There's no need. If I push now... and he takes, and I take, that pawn hangs. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start moving my pawns up. He takes, my queen defends this pawn. Right, this is okay. I've got 3 and a 4. He's got a 4 and a 3. This is a possibility. Just keep pushing these pawns forward. What's that about? Rook at fe1, and he has to keep defending this bishop, so he's going to have to move back there or there. Or there. There we go. And now we can harass the queen again with bishop f4. Why not? This pawn's still defended. We both have dark squared bishops. Okay, he continues to defend that bishop. This, and how does he do it then? Or even this? Either one is fine. Let's move up in the centre. And how does he defend the bishop from the rook? Short answer, he don't. You see the difference between the value of, like I said before, you know, pushing this pawn means that my bishop is defended, right? We so often put pieces on squares where it seems like for some tactical reason they've got some use, right? I'm going to take, he's got a free pawn here, but, you know, short term it seems like a good idea, but you can end up with, in a situation, you know, things change on the chessboard. Okay, now, I want to go full bastard mode now. One idea is queen here, defends that pawn at the back. Also means that if he puts a rook here, takes is mate. Back rank mate by my queen. So that's my idea. There's no other real good way to defend that pawn. I mean, rook here, or do I drop this rook back? No, queen there looks good. There may be rook e1. I'm up a piece for a pawn. I'd love to trade the rooks off. I need to guard the back rank because my king's in the middle of the 3 pawns. So it can only move sideways, which means a back rank mate could be on. Right, it's coming up. It's coming for me. So, well, maximum evil. I mean, that's slightly evil. He can't go there and checkmate me because of that. He can't go on that. He can't go there. He's going to have to go here. I think, yeah? If I go here, queen, no, 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 no. Yes, queen has to go here. And is that better or worse for the queen? Is it better or worse for me? No, I think rook e1. Note to self, my queen is the only defender of this pawn. I mean, it did, however, kick the queen away from, you know, draw its attentions away from this pawn. Oh, I don't like that at all. Look, I've got bishop here now. Hits the rook, undefends this pawn, then my queen can get in here and checkmate him. Sounds like a plan, man. Right, so like queen here, I attack this, I threaten mate. Yeah, indeed. Let's do it again, come on. Yes, let's do it again. Right, we're not going down this centre game nonsense now. Oh, we've got a d4, super duper, right. So we're mixing things up. Yoni 288. Let's add a friend. And welcome to London. Okay. Welcome to London. Right. Bring my knight out. Practicing my anti-London c5. It's not like it's mine. A lot of people have recommended this kind of approach. Okay, he's got decent control there. This hits the bishop. It is also unprincipled. But I also have d5. Always play d5. Yeah, this pawn hangs, but that's... pawn schmawn. Might develop there. Oh, he's just going, look, oh, I'm playing the London system. Because it's a system. System addict, you never can get enough. That's an old one. Bishop there could find itself kicked. Doesn't mind. Does not mind. It's nearly 400 points higher rated than this guy. Okay, let's push this. Now my bishop's out in the cold. So we actually have a rather symmetrical pawn structure. But I've got an advanced pawn on c5, which I'm inclined to push forwards now, because it really makes life hard for these two. Now, I don't think he should... Yeah, kick. You're right, okay. This is typical. Now in the London, what you often do is that and trade off. But that's when you've got, before you've castled, when you've got a rook there. So I'm going to do this move now. Yeah. If he takes, bingo, my queen is in his face. And he's back, he drops now. If I take here, he's got the option of taking with f. All right, let's just ignore everything. Knight here is a nice move at some point. If he takes, pawn takes, I'm harassing this knight. Knight moves like back there. Is there any point lining my queen up with that bishop? Takes, pawn takes, maybe. Now I want to castle long and I want to pawn storm him on the king's side. So now what we're doing is we're transitioning from, I'm looking at the end of the opening phase, we're moving into the middle game, and I'm starting to think about my middle game strategy already. Okay. Right, what that does is it means that this bishop hangs. No, it means the bishop's undefended. So now if I put my knight in here, and he takes and pawn takes, I'm attacking the knight with a pawn, and it can't move anywhere because it can't go there or there to defend the bishop. So, and I'm just not worried. Right, this knight is pinned, but it can't be attacked by anything. So I think that was a tactical error. He's going to be very tempted to take that. But likewise, if I take this and this knight recaptures, I win the bishop as well, and attack the rook, and have a nice outpost here. Mistake. You shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Right. Okay. Now, I see the idea. Material is equal. I now win a bishop and attack a rook. Okay. He might take here, in which case I'll just recapture the pawn. Or the queen. If he saves his rook, I'll just take his knight. Then bishop takes and queen goes here. That's okay. That's fine. What are you going to do? This is where you really have to calculate them. Trade knights. No problem. Okay, so he saved that. So I can't take the knight. I could simply castle. I could put my bishop here. I'm up a piece right now. So if I save my bishop, that really strengthens it. I've got... Now, his knight may take. I just take that with the pawn. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I think if he takes my knight, I'll probably take with the queen. I'm up a piece. I want to simplify. Trade down. Get to a winning endgame. Knight takes again, not advisable, because then I capture and I have myself a passed pawn. I am playing all the right moves, but not necessarily in the right order. Okay, I think castles, but I can also just trade bishops. Why not? Okay, his idea could be this. So I'm going to castle now. So that if he takes, and my knight's free to move. Called it. All right. Where does my knight want to be? My knight wants to be there, but it can't go here. Tragedy. Here, there's a possible pawn fork, but it's undefended at this point. Yeah, still not sure. So that or that, really, isn't it? There. Defended by queen. It is on both squares, but this is further... Ooh! Oh, I missed that. I missed it. Happens. Alright, now, knight defends that pawn, so I'm going to defend the knight again with a pawn. I'm going to move a rook to there, and probably going to move a rook to here at some point. Right. He wants a fight. Now, this pawn is pinned. This pawn is undefended and under attack, i.e. hanging. This pawn is threatening to fork both rooks. So, my friend Yoni, you have some things to think about, son. Right, but that's a problem. That is a bigger problem. Than a hanging pawn. I think you will faint. Remember, that's pinned. You're in big trouble now. Okay. Oh, he's abandoned. Oh dear. Well, interesting 3 games. There you go. Some nice attacking ideas. So let's just review this game briefly and say, why did White lose? Okay. First of all, he's playing the London. He's got his head down. He's only looking at the side of the board here. Okay. London move. Defend the pawn. London move. London move. So we have tension here in the middle. He leaves it. That's fine. Pin the knight. That's not the London move. So now he's broken from the London on move 6 by breaking the pin on the knight. Now I clamp down, which I kind of like. He castles, double up. See, everything's fine here. He's okay. He's a little bit cramped in space because of this c5, c4 push. And then this comes, and this is his error. This is his error, and like on the previous game, he's got a piece here. Since he moved his queen here, see, the first thing I noticed was, the first thing I said, he's undefended this bishop. This bishop is X-rayed, okay? So that is my starting point for thinking of attacking this knight. Because this knight here is effectively pinned. Now, it is pinned, because there's an undefended piece behind it that could be taken should it move, right? So that knight can't really move. So that means that this knight is undefended. But also, if he initiates the exchange, I'm attacking a pinned piece with my pawn. And now he finds this resource. Okay, so right now material's equal, but I get the bishop, okay, and then I save mine. Okay, so after this, free piece and save my bishop, solidify stuff here, and I've calculated that this knight is adequately defended, so is this bishop, and we're all okay. And that's the value of putting your pieces on squares where they are defended. And you know, just let's go again. Let's look at these pieces that are defended, right? Is that defended? No. Let's highlight all the undefended pieces, right, as we go. This is still undefended. These defended twice, both of them, right? That knight's defended. Okay, pawn's out. This guy's still not. This guy is defended by a knight. Okay, that's all good. This is defended by my queen. This is defended by a pawn now. This bishop is, sorry, this queen here is not defended, and it's now undefended, this bishop. And this is, I think, the critical move. And what the hell is he doing with this move? What's the idea? How long did he think for? 26 seconds or so. What's the idea with this move? I mean, what does he hope to achieve? Pins my knight. I can castle on the next turn if I want to. So I would say that this is at least a mistake. Move 10, quick check, and then we'll wrap up. I think that's where the game turned. I think it was pretty much balanced until move 10, and then that's where it turned. Okay, something happened here. Okay, it says inaccuracy. Wow, I'd have called that a mistake. Okay, knight there is good. Was there a better move? What's the better move? Oh well, fish heads logic. Okay, and that's a mistake, right? But I tempted him into, yeah, he didn't have to do that. he could have just moved his knight away, right? So what was a better move? Okay, defending. So, you know, just basically reversing his previous move, which wasn't great. Okay, so as far as the computer was concerned, this was quite a savable situation. White wasn't actually in trouble at that point. It was just an inaccuracy, right? Wasting a couple of moves, that's all it was. But in human terms, it was worse, because humans very often don't like to... Yeah, emotionally, we have a problem with undoing what we just did, right? With stopping and asking for directions and turning around. We'd rather carry on going around the long way than admit we got it wrong and you know, do a Yui. And this is like that. So this is actually his mistake. And then this is actually a blunder. So he's lost a piece. No, he hasn't. So he's traded off. And now, what could he have done here, though? His knight's under attack. And the bishop behind it is pinned. And I'd already figured out that he can't move the knight in a way that defends the bishop. So this is a blunder, but what was the best move? Counter-attacking the pinned piece. Well, well, well. Interesting. So Queen A4, pinning the knight, was actually potentially useful. After this, and his d-pawn can advance and attack the pinned piece. However, right, so that blunder, but I do have this still, don't I? D5 is best. Then surely, yeah, surely that. And after d5, oh wow, I mean that's, after d5, then his knight has that square effect. Oh, that's really interesting, right? See, here, here, his knight does not have that square, right? But after this, hang on. No. After this move, which would have been best, I have to capture to save my knight, and now he has this square. And that, guys, is the difference between intermediate level calculation and advanced level calculation. It's all possible. We can do it. We have the capability to do it, but we all have this point at which we stop thinking because we're not Magnus or Stockfish, you know. And with that, it's a very, very interesting little problem here. White could actually have maybe saved himself a bit there and didn't. Anyway, so there you go. That's today's video. 3 games and a very fun little kind of problem there. So thanks for watching, everyone, and see you later.